our Rockets did not have a great weekend. They lost a couple of two close games. James Harden with the 3 to win it on Friday night, and then LeBron James hits the free throw to beat him last night at the end. But this is a team that competes both low scoring games. The Rockets are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA right now, and deservedly so, because it just is. How about? Well, you did bring in a couple of different players, obviously, in Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet. But it's all about that attitude. It's all attitude. It's all now. He puts them in the right spot, and they come on out. They challenge every outside shot, every single one. But you can tell when they left.
By the way, their rotations are so much better now defensively.
Oh.
The hustle and the want to get out on shots, like they don't want other teams to score against them. I know it shouldn't see, but I think before they were like, if they score, they score. It's
right.
Not that big a deal.
Oh no, it was absolutely. It was Ole. No, but here's the deal: is there's a fear factor now. I don't hustle out. If I don't go and I don't close on that 3-point shooter, I'm gonna be sitting next to Udoka. I ain't gonna be on the floor, right? I mean, there's accountability now.
Yeah,
and that's awesome. What did you think of James hitting the game winner on Friday night?
Just terrible.
I mean, it just is awful.
Yeah, good game. It was
but of all people to hit,
I know.
I mean,
and the step back
yeah.
where he's fouled.
And then yesterday, LeBron. So you got beat in the last seconds by James and then LeBron.
I know.
I mean, could I throw up more?
No, you couldn't throw up.
I mean, can't throw up any more.
And LeBron had a good game against Dylan Brooks. Now, it was if you're going to be considered one of the great, if you're going to be in a conversation with Michael Jordan as greatest of all time, you can't be shut down by Dylan Brooks twice. Now, LeBron is much older, obviously, so take it with a grain of salt. But LeBron showed why he is he's probably the freakiest professional athlete that's ever played the game in any sport. To play at the level he plays at after being in the league for 20 years is truly, this is absolutely
Did you see the stat of NBA players who are 40?
Yeah.
And their stats?
Yeah, it's not even close.
It's not, I mean,
LeBron he's the greatest physical specimen who's ever played a sport. To be able to do it this long, to be as healthy as he's been, and to play at this level, and he just had a little comeback for Dylan Brooks. I mean, it's what you would expect from one of the all-time greats is the other guy gets you the first time, and you come back, and he had a good game against Dylan Brooks, and Dylan was in position. Like, Dylan was in position on a lot of these plays, and it just didn't matter. But the Rockets lost. Now, Rockets built a lead at the first half. They were up 55-48, I think, 55-49, and then lost the lead quickly in the third quarter, and they were just scurrying in the fourth quarter, and then they came all the way back. Like, it was really...
Well, they won the fourth quarter, yeah.
This team would have never done that. Yeah, I mean, they came back from the deficit. This team in the past few years would have never done this.
Yeah.
Never. And you just get the feeling like, man, there is a level of consistency from half to half now that we have not seen in the past.
Dylan Brooks played 41 minutes and actually played a pretty good game.
Oh, he had six threes.
He was really, really. I know, and he's actually got a pretty quick release. It almost like he's just throwing it up there.
I know.
Şengün played really well. I mean, he had a really good game. He's standing in the lane in the first half. All of a sudden, there's nobody around him, and he just one-hands it up there, and it goes right in. 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Şengün is just I'm starting to really I love Şengün. Now, 5 assists and 4 turnovers. That's got to be you got to clean that up a little bit. But this is exactly what Fred VanVleet is supposed to do. Now, he was 5 of 14 from the field, but 16 assists with 3 turnovers. Pretty good ratio. And Jalen still, you know what? Jalen hasn't really found himself. As Jalen is still really, really struggling to find his. And when he goes on a run, he's going to be much better. And he seems like this is a much better fit for him. The way that, but he's not. He just seems uncomfortable at times.
I know it's you can't. Like, you want to see him put together 3 good games in a row.
It just isn't happening.
It's been hard for him, but hopefully it'll come around. I'm not giving up on Jalen Green. I think that Jalen still is incredibly talented. I like that he's putting in the work to try to, and he's being unselfish. I love that he's trying to play this brand of basketball, and it's going to take time for him. This is not what he's ever been or who he's been, and do not give up on Jalen Green. And Jalen Green just has to defend and just has to be part of the team, and he's being part of the team. So I'm good with that. It is. I mean, they were underdogs in both games. You're playing Friday and Sunday. You're a dog, and you're a dog at the Clippers. But you had your chances to beat the Clippers, and you had your chance to beat the Lakers. So you're playing that competitive brand of basketball.
Listen, it's so much. These are 1-point games that they're losing to good teams. The Clippers are going to be a good team. The Lakers are a good team. You're losing 1-point games. Before, when you fell last year, when you fell apart in the fourth quarter, you lost by 14. This is a team that's competitive right to the end.
I heard the phrase, we've been in, pretty much all the games have been competitive this year. I heard Dana say that, and then I watched the Rockets. I'm like, well, that's what I was thinking of with competitive. Like the Rockets, coming down to the last second against the Lakers and the Clippers. That's more the competitive that I was thinking of.
You mentioned you believe the Clippers will be good. You think the Lakers are good. Can the Rockets be considered good if they can't win road games?
Yeah, you can be considered good. Yeah, they would be the first team.
But I mean, listen, just because they lost a couple of losses,
they're 0-4.
Doesn't mean they can't.
Well, not going
I'm saying right
41.
now, I'm not 0-41, but I saw someone say the Rockets are good and they're close to being great, which I think was an overstatement. But if you're 0-4 on the road, so far, I'm not saying it's a trend. Can you call someone a good team?
Can I ask you this?
If they don't win road games?
Can you be considered a good team if you have a losing record at home, like the Astros?
If you have a history of winning, yeah. But the Rockets don't have a history of winning.
Well, but the history doesn't matter.
Sure, it does. There's a pedigree.
Every year is what matters.
The Astros have a pedigree, and they won the division.
If the Rockets go to Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals,
yes, they're a good team. Yes.
Yeah. So keep that.
But
keep your mind open.
also the Astros won the division, so we saw them be good over 162.
Okay.
I'm asking, can a team who so far doesn't win road games be considered a good basketball team?
Yes, it can.
Okay.
Yes.
Astros won the division because the Rangers lost the last day too,
and the Astros swept. They closed out strong. That's why they won the division
on the road.
Yes,
on the road.
They found a way.
Yeah.
This team, I'm asking. Can they be considered through 11 games good?
We're telling you yes, they can.
Okay.
And they are.
Yes.
Okay.
How many times do we have to say yes?
They covered both of those games too.